Hey you guys, this is Yolanda from Yolaji Holistic Wellness, and I'm just sort of making this video to share what I've learned from my journeys this year and my experience as I continue sharing them with you. I'm going to be speaking a lot about detachment and the different specifics of each as I journey through each one with you. When we speak about detachment, most of the time our minds go straight to people or situations, things. But there are so many layers and facets to attachments that today we're going to go over a particular one, which is objects. From the very beginning, we are taught an unhealthy habit, an attachment. As babies, we cling to blankets, toys, or stuffed animals. This gives us a sense of comfort, safety, and familiarity. Yet this conditioning teaches us that security comes from outside rather than ourselves. In truth, we enter this world with nothing and we leave out of this world with nothing. Still, as we grow, society programs us to see material possessions as proof of who we are. The car we drive, the home we live in, the clothes we wear, the technology we hold, the money in our bank accounts. All of these become silent measurements of worth. The illusion whispers, you are what you have. But this attachment to objects doesn't just sit in our closets or our garages, it also seeps within our emotions. When we tie identity into matter, our inner world becomes fragile. We get very emotional. We feel anxiety when we fear losing something we own. We feel jealousy when someone else has more or newer things, right? We feel insecurity when we don't measure up to the standards society has built around possessions. And we also feel grief or emptiness when things we thought grounded us are broken, lost, or taken away. These emotions anchor into the root chakra. This is the energy center of safety, security, and survival. It is the chakra of all manifestation. The root chakra is also the natural state that is trust in life, in our ability to be provided for, trusting our capabilities and our connection to earth itself. But when we place our security in objects, we actually displace that root. Instead of grounding into earth, we root into matter that is temporary, fragile, and easily lost. This creates a big imbalance. The fear of scarcity, instability, and a restless search for more. The irony is that no object can ever truly ground us. True grounding comes from within, and inner stability from trust in ourselves and in life. We can often confuse objects for security. We keep the root chakra, when we do that, we keep the root chakra locked in fear rather than open and balanced. These attachments root themselves in the base of our being, the root chakra. This is the energy center of survival, stability, and trust. And when we tie our sense of security to material possessions, the root chakra becomes unstable. Instead of grounding into the earth, the eternal flow of life, we ground into things that are fragile and temporary. This creates a fear of scarcity, restlessness, and a constant hunger for more. True grounding never comes from matter. It comes from trust, presence, and connection to earth and spirit. Universal law reveals why this happens. The principle of rhythm tells us that all things flow, rise and fall, come and go. Nothing material can ever stay. To cling to these objects is to cling to what must eventually change. It is to fight against the current of the universe itself. The principle of polarity shows us that excess and lack are not opposites, but they're rather extremes of the same spectrum. Both create imbalances. True abundance is found in balance, in having enough, in sufficiency, in the surplus that we can share. So abundance is not about matter. It's not about stacking possessions or titles like walls around us. Abundance is the feeling of wholeness that comes from having what we truly need: food, shelter, love, community, and connection. With enough to overflow into generosity, abundance is the circulation, not an accumulation. To hoard is to block the current, and to release is to live in harmony with it. Detachment is freedom from illusion, harmony with rhythm, and balance with polarity. To see beyond matter and remember that form is only a shadow of the real. As above, so below. As within, so without. The same rhythm that governs the start, governs the rise and fall of our possessions. True detachment is not about rejecting life or living without it. It's about living free. Free from the illusions, free from the weight of possessions, free to stand in the eternal light of who we really are. Because in the end, our value will never be measured by what we hold in our hands, but only by the radiance of the soul we carry through this world and beyond. So you may be asking yourself, how do we begin to practice detachment from objects? First, gratitude and release. Thank the object for the role it played. Everything has energy. That item that has given you so much contains an energy. And as you show that gratitude, you allow it to move on as you release it. Nothing is wasted when it teaches you freedom. Second, simplify your space. Choose to keep only what uplifts and serves your purpose. Clearing away heavy items or clutter actually creates room for more abundance within your life. As you release that no longer serves you, the universe is going to give you an abundance of extra because you created space. 3, share the surplus. Transform your attachment into generosity by offering what you do not need to others. When you give, you are sharing that abundance, and in return, you will receive abundance. Remember, abundance requires us to be open to giving and receiving. 4th, practice presence. Notice when you reach for objects to soothe emotion and instead pause, breathe, and connect inward. 5, redefine your success. Shift your measure of worth from appearance to authenticity, from matter to spirit. And 6, contemplate impermanence. Meditate on the rise and fall of all things and let the impermanence become a teacher, not a source of fear. So I hope you guys enjoy that, and I hope I was able to offer you some guidance. Peace out.